Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wells Darby Webinar Wednesdays. We're going to start this off. We're going to roll it over to Chris, and she's going to go to our Wheel of Winners and find someone who asked a question last week and give them a prize. All you, Chris.
Spin the wheel. And it's Marty Beretta.
Woohoo! Marty! Okay, so today we got Eric, Chris, and Jim. Jim will be answering questions over on the right-hand side of your screen. You should have a box you can open up right there. There'll be a question bar. If you have a question, send it in. Jim will be firing off answers. Also, in your handouts, there will be a handout that will look like this, and that will kind of give us the product line and overview of the products. So you also have the ability to expand and contract the screen. If you want to see the PowerPoint, you can make it larger. If you want to see the equipment behind me, you can expand that and make it larger. So let's get this rolling. This will be short, sweet, to the point. So A.O. Smith is in the water treatment business. They've been in the water heater business forever. And we'll give you a little start to where they are. There we go. All right. Do I have clicker control? There we go. Okay, so A.O. Smith started in the water treatment business in China in 1996. So they basically worked in China. They created the RO, reverse osmosis technology, when they were in China, in that China market, and started to perfect some of the water side of the business from a clean standpoint, let's call it. They had an acquisition here in the US of Aquasana in 2016. So that opened up a whole world of filter technology for A.O. Smith. In 2017, they purchased Hague. So basically what we have right here behind me, this is the S400 softener. Has a Hague valve right here. So when they purchased Hague, that opened up that water softening side. And then in 2019, they purchased Water Right. So with all of these purchases, that opened up the whole water treatment side of the business for A.O. Smith. They've learned a ton about what makes a tank style water heater fail, what makes a tankless style water heater fail. So by acquiring these different companies, they now have the means to make sure that the water going into either their water heater or brand X water heater, or into their tankless piece of equipment or brand X tankless equipment or boiler combis, will be good quality water that's not going to cause a premature failure of that product. So Water Right offers, and you always have to start somewhere. So Water Right offers a water test analysis kit. We're just going to kind of flip through this quickly. It's this is the starting point when we're going in and having a conversation with a homeowner. So you'll need a water analysis test kit, and you'll need this little TDS meter, total dissolved solids meter. And doesn't have to be this one, doesn't have to be that kit, but these are just the ones that we offer. And these are what we're familiar with working with. So in order to have the water conditioning conversation with a homeowner, first thing has to be established is, what am I working with? And we are in the Northeast. So, you know, if you live in the Northeast, we deal with hard water conditions quite often. So that's usually going to be what we're up against. And this little total dissolved solids meter. So what I did this morning was I took this here, I turned the tap water on, ran it for about a minute, and I filled this cup up. And then I took a bottle of water you purchased from your local convenience store, and I filled this halfway. So total dissolved solids, we always want to be less than 500 parts per million. The lower the number, the better for drinking. So I'm just going to take this meter, I'm going to put it right down into the water. And the top button here is a hold button. So once it gets the reading, I'll hit hold and I'll bring it up and I can show you. And 249 parts per million. So that is tap water. Okay, so that's my starting point with tap water, and I'm going to clear that out. And then I'll just take and do your average, water you would purchase from a convenience store in a bottle. And I'll put hold on that. And that checks in at 26 parts per million. So the lower the number, the better. So if you had your choice of drinking either one of these waters, you would probably choose the cup to the left, which is the bottled water. And that has a lot to do with your body's ability to absorb the water and hydrate your muscles within your body. So if you're dealing with an athlete, this is important for them to be able to absorb the water into their muscles to stay hydrated during their workouts and conditioning. So that's how the total dissolved solids fall into it. Based on the total dissolved solids, this is what you would see if you had to have a, let's say, a pre-filter before a water treatment device. So we'll go through some options there. Then we also have a test kit. And in that test kit I showed you a little earlier, this will give me the iron and the pH. So you'll fill these water columns here. And then based on filling those water columns, what you would do is you would take this little glass of water, a little glass jar, turn the faucet on. You're going to fill this with water. Always let it run a little bit before you fill it. You're going to take that. You're going to fill this little plastic container right to the lid. Pour this glass out. With this empty, you'll take this full plastic cylinder, pour it into this glass. Now you have your sample. So I'm going to check this for hardness. So there's a hardness number 1, 3 drops. Hardness number 2, 3 drops. And hardener number 3. And this is when you're going to count. So you're going to put it in there and you're going to wait for the water to turn blue. Each time you put 1 drop in, you just shake the jar a little bit to make sure it's mixing. As you put this in, you count it. And when you're done, however many drops you have in there, that's going to give you your grains per gallon of hardness in that water system. And again, that's going to tell us where do we need to be and what type of piece of equipment do I need to support that hardness in the system. Then also we have on this gauge is pH. So we have a pH solution. So you'll do the same thing. You'll put the pH solution in, and based on the color that it turns, you'll see your level of pH within the water, 7 being neutral. So that would be, perfect neutral water. In addition to that, they give you this little packet, and on the test strip here, it says iron. So you would take this, you would pour it into the iron, put this rubber cap back on, okay, and shake it. And then you will see what you have for iron. So this A.O. Smith product line is designed to handle the sweet spot. Okay, we're not going to get out into the crazy water conditions, that we have in some areas. We just don't have the breadth of product to support that. We wanted to keep this a pretty narrow market, kind of like the 80% market, and then the upper 10% and the lower 10%, where it's a more of a niche type water conditioning, water treatment systems. We're not going to play in that world. So we're just looking for that middle of the road, under 10 grams of iron, ferrous iron. We can handle that through our water softeners. So that's kind of where this product line is going to live. And we really wanted to make this simple for the contractor and simple for the contractor to explain it to the homeowner. And I'm going to show you another little pamphlet that we've developed that shows, all the different products, all the different certifications, and so on down the line. So we'll get into that a little bit later. Right now, we're just going to go through the PowerPoint and review the products. So in the catalog that we sent out, we basically have, this is our product line currently. So we have 2 softeners. Behind me is the S400. We have an S500. So it's all in one container, one nice neat package. So our brine is going to be under this cover. This is where we'll pour the salt. Okay, our controller is right here. So the LED screen is right here. And then our bed in our tank is also right in one package. S400, the S500 will just be a little bit taller. Right next to that on the screen is the FC600. This is a salt-free option, not necessarily a water softener, but it's a water treatment system. So this is not going to go in and basically do what the salt brine does, but we have, you know, end users that want no salt. So this is the no salt option that we offer. And then we have just a basic, a good, what we call it the good, better, best scenario on the filter side. So all of these are, if you have a refrigerator that has a spin-on filter cartridge, all of the filters that we offer are the same way. We also offer a product preserver, which we'll talk about more, and we have a product neutralizer. So when we're dealing with condensing type products, we now have a neutralizer that's in our lineup. So in your handout, you don't have to open it now. You can if you want, but you don't have to. When you're with a homeowner, you've done the water test, right? That's a basis of your conversation, is the water test and the TDS test. So based on those two items, you will go to the homeowner and say, okay, you have X amount of grains of hardness in your water system, and you know your telltale signs, right? If I can't make soap when I'm in the shower, I take this bar of soap and I can't make suds, that's, you know, hard water. We just can't make soap. Or if I can't wash the soap off, that's really soft water. So if they give you any of those indications, you know, you're going to be able to tell the rest of the story by taking that water test. So you would take the water test. You would sit with the homeowner and say, okay, I need a solution. I have hard water. Homeowner, this is what you have. X amount of grains hardness. Do you want a salt solution or a non-salt solution? And you go right to this page. If they say they want a non-salt solution, this is our only option, the FC600. If they say that it doesn't matter, whatever's going to be best, and you know, we're going to reduce hardness with this, maybe about 5 grains, but it's not going to really make it get it to where it needs to be if it's really hard water. So that would be the salt option. So then we go over to the salt option and we say, okay, how many bathrooms do you have? Do you have 1 bathroom? Do you have up to 2.5 bathrooms? If it's a yes, it's the S400. If it's a no, I have 3 bathrooms or more, up to 5 bathrooms, it would be the S500. So what we're trying to do here is just simplify this. And again, we're not going to get all the way out in the crazy water over here, the crazy water over here. We're going to be right down the middle. And this is an easy, we're trying to make it an easy conversation to have with the homeowner. So based on if they have 1 to 2.5 baths, here we are, we're at the S400. As you can see, again, it's a 1-piece, has a built-in sediment filter. So that's important. That's a little different than a lot of the units on the market. So currently we have what's called a garnet rock. So the water comes in, goes through this rock filter, then it goes in through the valve, and then it goes down in, you know, through the bed of the softener. And what that does is any dirt and debris coming in, it will trap it in that garnet rock. And then when the unit regenerates, it will back flush that rock. So it's self-cleaning, which is pretty important here, right? We want to make sure that the valve stays clean. So we have that. In the near future, we will be changing that. So when that changes, we'll let everyone know. We're going to go to a different material that will also take out some chlorine odors, which is pretty important. A lot of the feedback you're going to get from the homeowner is going to be, you know, taste and odor. And usually the taste and odor, it could be the chlorine that the municipalities are putting into the system. So everything that we're going to show you today, you know, has been certified. So this is NSF certified, which means it's a third-party test. They're going to do all the tests on it, and that piece of equipment will do exactly what we say it will do, and it's been certified to that. The shipping weight on that smaller unit is about 95 pounds. So pretty easy to move around. Flow rate is 7 gallons a minute. It will handle 200 pounds of salt. So in here, we'll handle 200 pounds of salt. The other nice feature here, it's very low. So you open up this trap door here, and that's where the salt will go in. We're not talking about a brine tank that's, maybe a foot and a half taller than this. So real easy to work on, 1 inch in and out. Just make sure you look at your ins and outs. We are different than some softeners, not all, but some. We are different on there. And there you are, certifications, NSF and ANSI. So maximum iron, that's ferrous iron, up to 10 parts per million. We have this preset at 25 grams of hardness right out of the box. The warranty, 1 year on the complete unit, 3 years on the electronics, 6 years on the valve itself, and 12 years on the tank and the cabinet. So pretty robust warranty. This is, like I said earlier, they purchased Hague. So this is a Hague valve. And it's pretty simple. If I don't really want to remove this cover, but I will, because it just starts to look ugly, but I'll remove that, get it out of the way. And right here is basically the valve itself. I'll spin this so you get a good look at it from the camera. So here's the valve. This is in, this is out. Okay, we have the opportunity here. We got the tank, we got the drain here. Okay, service platform is real easy right here. And we also have on here a bypass valve. So if this is coming into your house and you want to water your lawn or something, you don't want to waste salt, you can just put this into bypass mode and you'll bypass the softener while you're watering your yard or maybe filling your pool or whatever you want to do. But you have the ability to adjust this to any level. So if we set this up and the homeowner called back and said, hey, the water's too soft, you have the ability to just say to the homeowner, you can just go down there and rotate that a quarter turn, and that'll add some of the hardness back into the water, and you don't have to have a service call there. So it's nice to have this feature. There's 4 screws over here, a couple on the other side. Basically, this valve will be taken apart with about 8 screws. So pretty simple to work on. LED touch screen. It's all set up from the factory. You can scroll through. It's just a screen by screen scroll. So real easy to work. Little motor here to drive the damper. So nice, easy valve. Jim had a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
So that is filled with 200 pounds of salt?
It can be.
Oh, so what
So
is it?
spin. So right here, okay, is what we call, there's a container in there, and that's the bed of the unit. That's where all the, ionization, everything is going on, where we're grabbing the particles, and then when we flush it out, we're grabbing the particles, hanging on to them. Then when we regen, we'll flush those out, we'll clean them, and then we'll be ready to go again.
Okay.
And then right here, you can pour in up to 200 pounds of salt. That becomes your brine tank. So it's a salt and water mix. And when we regenerate, we take some of that salt water, we run it over the bed, and that cleans the bed and re-energizes it. And then it's ready for fresh water to come in. The other nice thing about the control is the control will keep track of how much water you've used. If you're getting close to regeneration, if it knows it won't make the next day, it will regenerate that night on its own. So you're not going to be in the middle of the day. It's not going to go into a regeneration cycle.
So by doing your water testing, does that indicate how many bags of salt you put in?
No. So doing your testing tells you how to set your control.
Right.
And it tells us how often we need to regenerate. And what the salt does is it creates a brine. So a liquidy mix, kind of what the trucks do in the wintertime when they put that liquid down on the highway. That's what we're doing here. We're creating a brine in this tank. And when this bed of so I'm going to just point to this. This isn't what's there, but I'm going to point to this because we can see it. Our material is inside of here. And what we'll do is we'll come in with that brine. We'll flush it across here. We'll flush it to waste. And we'll take all those hard particles that we've collected and we'll send them to waste. At the same time we're doing that, on our water inlet, we're going to clean that garnet rock filter at the same time. So you're basically starting with a brand new unit every time it regenerates.
Okay.
Is what we do. So why we're talking about salt, right? So you need to be in the 2+ range in order to qualify to make a water softener. So when we talk about high efficiency boilers compared to a, let's say, a cast iron boiler 82, 84% efficient. That's would be that 2.2, 2.3 of salt usage. These are in the 5s. So super efficient on using of salt. Okay. High resin, that's why we're able to go small. We're real dense, so we use a really high resin bed. That's why we're able to have such a smaller model.
Cool. Okay.
And very efficient using salt. So, okay, then if we get to a house with, again, that 3 to 5 bathroom, it'll look exactly the same. It's just going to be a little taller, and it has the ability to create more brine. So, and we have a little more bedding material in there. So everything else is exactly the same except the shipping weight. Shipping weight goes up to 145 from 95 pounds. We still hold the same amount. Oh, I might have dropped my clicker and I might have lost the ability to click. There we go. So still hold 200 pounds of salt in the S500. Everything there is the same water inlet, same water temperature ability, same 10 parts per million on the ferrous iron, same warranty. So that is our 2 salt options for water condition. Okay, pretty basic, pretty simple, pretty neat and clean, doesn't take up a lot of room. Water connections, everything is off the back. Pretty robust piece of equipment. It's a Hague valve. It's been around for a long time. We're not recreating the wheel here. It's just it's got an A.O. Smith Pro brand on it. There's that bypass I was talking about a little earlier. And this here, I just wanted to show you on the valve, the in and out. Some water softeners are reversed. So I just want to make sure that, we get this in the right orientation. I don't want to take and have the bed of the softener coming out of your bathroom faucet. The non-salt option is the FC600. So this is the FC600. It is just in and out, carbon bed and some rock up here. And we basically give you a fitting to flush this. One thing with the FC600, because of the carbon bed, we want to make sure that it's always in the vertical position. We want to keep it upright at all times. If we lay this on its side in the back of our vans and we drive out to the homeowner's house, it's going to take us a lot longer to flush the carbon out and get clean water coming out of it. So very important, vertical position. This is a 6-year, about 660,000 gallons of water, and it has a full 6-year warranty. This is going to be an install, and 6 years or 600,000 gallons later, it's going to be a removal, and you're going to have a new install. With this, you may want to have a pre-filter, depending on what your total dissolved solid meter says, and what else may be going on within the home. But you may want to have a pre-filter here. But when you get this into the home, okay, here we go. When you get this into the home, we give you a fitting. It will go into this 1-inch inlet, and it will adapt down to a standard hose connection. So you'll bring it in, whether you do it outside or inside. You might want to do this inside because as you fill this, it's going to become heavier. And carry it down, get it in position, hook your hose up, turn your hose on, have your other side going back out of the home, and you're going to just discard that water. You're going to run water through this until you get clean water out of the other end. Then you'll shut it off. You may want to wait 5 minutes or so, let everything settle out, turn that water on again, flush it again. If you get good clean water running through there, you're basically ready for your install. So then you'll go ahead and tie this into your main and tie this into the home, and the install is complete, and you're ready to let the homeowner start using it. And again, it will be a 6-year full warranty, 6-year 660,000 gallons worth of water usage put through that FC 600, and you'll be ready to replace. Fourth quarter, we will have a larger unit. It'll be a 1,000,000 gallon unit with a little higher flow rates. So that'll be fourth quarter of this year. We'll have that as another option. We will also have the pre-filter. We've sent in some water samples from around New Jersey into A.O. Smith. So they're developing a pre-filter for us to put in front of the FC 600. And if you have really bad water, you may want to put a pre-filter in front of the water conditioner or a whole house pre-filter. So options. So that covers us from the water treatment side as far as what's going to be in the basement, kind of like a whole house type system. Then we get into like a good, better, best scenario. So we have here a list of good, better, best. We currently have the 100, which is a single filter directly under the sink. We'll touch on that. We have the 2000, which is a 2-filter system. And we have the RO, the reverse osmosis AOW 3000. The 4000 we'll probably see later in the year. If you're into whiskey and you like the clear round ice cubes, the RO 3000 will give you that capability. So an option, lots of options. So these are all going to be point of use filters. So the AOW 100, that's going to go directly under the sink. You do not need a dedicated faucet. It will mount directly under your sink. You'll tie it in. This will be good for 1.5 gallons per minute. So this is like a drinking water type filter, and 4,750 gallons, and you'll change it out. You do not have to shut the main off going to the filter when you change out the filter. It's just a quarter turn rotation, pull the filter down and take the new one, put it in place, quarter rotation, it's locked in. So directly under, let's say, the kitchen faucet, if that's where you get your drinking water, or if you want to put this in before your refrigerator's filter, this will probably do a little better job for you than a typical refrigerator filter will. So good, clean, 2-screw, holds a bracket in place, tuck your hose in, tie it into your water system, right to your faucet, away you go. We also have, which is now our better model, so it's a 2-cartridge carbon filter, and here we start to eliminate 77 contaminants will reduce, and we're certified here. So lead, PFOAs, VOCs. So if you're in Newark, New Jersey, where they had lead issues, or Newburgh, New York, where they had lead issues, this may be a good option for you. If you're near an airport where they spray, the chemical to put out fires at the airport, if a plane were to crash and they have to spray that, that contains the PFOAs and PFOSs. So again, this is a good option for that. These are good for 500 gallons. And again, do not have to shut the mains off. Rotate, quarter turn, you can change both of those cartridges. And this will come with a dedicated faucet. And these are air gap faucets. They have to be. They're brushed nickel. They're pretty, heavy duty quality brushed nickel faucet. So on the 2000 and the 3000 models, you're going to see that we come with a faucet. Okay, this is the 3000. This is the reverse osmosis. That's the buzzword. Everybody wants reverse osmosis. There's positives to this for sure. Your nitrates, your fluorides, the mercury, arsenic will take all of that out. But think of this is a very slow, it'll make 15 gallons of water per day, but it's very slow. Think of filling that tank and then trying to push that water through a piece of like cellophane. And the water that goes through is the water you're going to be able to drink. The water that doesn't go through is going to go to waste. So you have a potential here of discarding 40 to 50% of the water that you're trying to run through this. So good option. Some people absolutely positively want it. Just another tool in your toolbox for a good, better, best scenario. Then we offer our inline descaler. So this is our inline descaler. It comes with a mounting bracket. It comes with the wrench to take the filter base side off. So this is just in and out. It's a 7 gallon per minute flow rate. I'm just going to take the top of this off. It's standard 3/4 pipe in and out. Inside here, we have a cartridge. I don't know if you can hear that, but the bed is shaking. It also has a directional arrow on it facing up. So this becomes a sediment container. And then what this has the ability to do, and this is if you're doing tankless, if you're doing combi boilers, anything along those lines where we move water through something and heat it very quick and then send it out to the appliance. That's where you would use this. What it does is it tricks the hard water, kind of coats them and passes them through the heat exchanger and out of your faucet. I would not use this on a tank style water heater because it will not have the ability to hold that hard molecule that long. This is for quick passing water. So when we go through a heat exchanger of a tankless water heater, it goes through there really quick. We want to make sure we don't drop any of those minerals out when we're heating them and attach it to the heat exchanger. So that's what this does. It'll make that hard molecule, or hard water, I should say, really slick, and it will pass it through the heat exchanger. Whether it's a combi with a plate exchanger, whether it's a tankless water heater with a primary heat exchanger or a primary and secondary heat exchanger, condensing or non-condensing. And I guess I'd say here brand X, Y, or Z. But we, on every tankless job we do, there is a product preserver on there. You get 2 years before you need to maintain the cartridge. So you go 2 years, change out your cartridge. You could check the flow rates of your tankless water heater or combi boiler. Make sure you're adhering to whatever your standards were when you did the install. If you are, there's no water flush needed. Change out the cartridge, put it back together, away you go for another 2 years. So very good piece for anything that we're going to exchange heat energy to hot water in a very quick manner. And then there we have our acid neutralizer. The acid neutralizer does exactly what it says. It'll take the acidity of a condensing product and it will neutralize it so we can put it to a standard drain or through a pump without damaging any of the pipes within the home. So we have we've developed in the last month or so this really nice A.O. Smith water treatment solutions catalog. And with this catalog, what we have in here is we have all of the certifications that we meet with each one of the different products. So if you're in the water treatment world or you want to get into the water treatment world, we have simplified it for you. You're going to take your water test. This catalog will help you pick what is the right appliance for that application. So we go through each product and we give you the check marks and we give you all of the certifications based on those check marks. So that means that everything that we say here, that product will do, and it's been certified to do so. So here we have the 100, and in the catalog that we gave you guys, it gives it pretty simple. Reduces up to 99% of lead, chlorine, taste, and odor. So this is basically a taste and odor type filter. It gives you all the flow rates, gives you the maximum capacity of 747.50 gallons before you have to change out the cartridge. Gives you the dimensions, gives you everything you need if you're sitting at the table with a homeowner. And you know, here it is, 1 year limited warranty for 1 to 1.5 people. This is a good option for them. This is an entry level option. It's a good option. And if you have your TDS meter, you can take a test prior, you can take a test after the filter is in, and you can show them that that filter is doing its job. In addition to that, we go on the back side of that 100 page and we break it down as to everything that it will remove and how much of it will remove. And we carry that theme through with the 200. So here we claim reduces up to 99% of 77 contaminants, including lead, mercury, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, chlorine, okay, PFOAs, PFOSs, and more. Okay, what does that mean, right? Gives us the dimensions, gives us everything on there. And then you can flip to the back page, and this actually breaks down and tells you exactly what those 77 chemicals are and how much of that we take out. So if you're sitting there with a homeowner, you can say with confidence, this filter will do this, right? Black and white. Here's the filter. We showed you it's certified. This is what your concern is. This is what the filter will do. So this is a great piece to sit with the homeowner and review. And then we get into the RO system, the AOW 3000, 99% of 88 chemicals, reduces, goes through all the list of the chemicals, partial list, 2-year warranty, tells you how many people it's good for, all the specifications, shows you what your replacement filters are. And then on the back of that, we take and break out all of those chemicals. And again, we give you a list of how much of each one of those chemicals it takes out. And at the end of the day, it is NSF certified to do exactly what you're telling them it will do. We even give you one for the FC 600. The FC 600, right? Salt-free technology, no cleaning, no backwashing, no salt bags, no electricity required. So for some people, that's very important. If you have someone who's unable to, if this is in the basement, they're unable to go up and down the stairs, or they're unable to pick up a 50-pound salt bag, this may be a really good option for them, right? If you don't want to run to, my mother, I don't want to run to her house and, have to worry about how much salt's in her water softener. So that would be a good option for me because it's less maintenance. 6-year warranty, okay? 1 to 3 bathrooms is best for this. If you have more than 3 bathrooms, we can use 2 and pipe them in parallel. Okay, gives you all the dimensions, connection points, tells you how much water it will handle over a period of time. And then on the back, again, we go through and tell you how this works. We also ran a test for 6 years, and we give you the percentages and we give you the flow rates, and it's certified, and it tells you that it will do its job for 600,000 gallons. That's all on the back. Gives us the flow rates, gives us everything about the unit, and really dots the I's and crosses the T's when you're sitting with the homeowner. We have the FC or the S400 water softener, gives you a full breakout. Your grain capacity, 34,800 grain capacity. Okay, on this unit, gives you the height, 32 inches high, 22.8 inches wide. It'll hold 200 bags of salt, gives you the warranty information, flow rate, gives you everything you need about the AOS 400. We have another page with the AOS 500, 49,800 grain capacity. Gives you all the information about the S500. And then we have a breakout page for the AS20, which is the scale inhibitor, inline descaler. And then the replacement cartridge gives you everything you need for the part numbers. This is a really good device, document. And on the back, we will tell you the ability of the descaler, and we break it down for percentages and what it does. And then if you want to go through with the homeowner how this all takes place, we start here, with rain, going down the mountains all the way into lakes and oceans and so on and so on. We give you this as a breakout page. So if you need to have that conversation with the homeowner so they understand a little bit about how they have hard water or total dissolved solids, or what's going on in their neighborhood when they see all these developments going up, and that stresses the ability of the water, the age of the pipes that are in the ground, what the material are, is of the pipes that are currently in the ground. That's all going into their home. The age of their home. Is it old galvanized piping? Is it copper? Is it PEX? These are all things that, most homeowners don't recognize because they just don't know. So you have an opportunity here with a very simple lineup from A.O. Smith. So you have the name recognition, the backing. If you're already involved with the A.O. Smith water heater program, where you have, your account and you're scanning the QR code and creating awareness about your company on the A.O. Smith site. So when someone searches, they find you. You have the same ability with the water treatment line. You have the ability to scan that water treatment unit, put it onto your account. When someone searches for a contractor doing water conditioning, water treatment, you're going to be one of the first ones logged up on that A.O. Smith website. Jim, how are we doing on questions?
We're good.
Good. So I said it would be pretty short, kind of right to the point. I think we've done that. I just wanted to point this out in the test kit. This is going to be extremely difficult for you to see, but in the test kit, this gives you the process to do each one of these tests that I went through relatively quick this morning. It also gives you the guidelines of, what those tests and results should be. On the TDS meter, they don't really give you your guidelines. You can Google TDS and you'll see that, 0 to 40 is like really good. 40 to 200 is pretty good. To 300 or so is tap water. It's when you get to that 500 point is where you want to really start to look at, oh my God, should I be drinking this water? But we do want to keep those total dissolved solids as low as we possibly can. And pretty simple lineup here. If you need anything from us, don't hesitate. You can get this catalog. That's the one that is in your downloads. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at jresso@wellsdarby.com. Don't forget, if you need any other training, we have HVACinsiders.com. That is where we post all of these recorded trainings. So if you want to show your staff and see if there's interest, you can go there on a bunch of different products. We're the Takeo guys, we're the MTI guys, we're the Fujitsu people, we're the Uponor people, and many other products. So if you need us, we are out and about. We do have this live studio here in Warren, New Jersey, but we are getting out to contractor locations as needed. So if you need anything from us, please reach out. We'd love to help. Thank you everyone this morning for your time. Greatly appreciated. Thank you everybody in the background. So everyone have a good day. Thank you.